Hello, fans, and welcome to the Utah Hockey Club postgame show with the Two Line Pass podcast. Another great game in the books, and I'm Randon, and alongside my co-hosts, Dustin and Ryan, we will break down all the goals, saves, hits, and highlights. Welcome to another postgame with the Two Line Pass. Welcome in, fans, to the postgame show with the Two Line Pass podcast. Your Utah Hockey Club suffers their first loss of the season, falling 3-0 to the New Jersey Devils. An unfortunate matinee game on this holiday Monday. Dustin, the losing, it hurts. It hurts right here. How you feeling after this one, buddy?
I'm suffering a little bit of PSD as a Utah fan. I'm not a big fan of anything named Devils. The past week or so. So I'm experiencing a little bit of PSD on top of not liking what I saw. But we'll get through it. There's a lot of games in a hockey season. You're gonna lose a lot of hockey games throughout a season. So it's just on to the next one. Onward and upward.
That's all you can do, and maybe the undefeated season is now unattainable, but 81-1 is not out of the question. So goals.
There's still lots of records that can be set by this team.
Yep, absolutely, and
most
still so many bright spots.
Points, like so much is still on the table. One little early Monday matinee game on the road that nobody cares about matinees. I mean, they're for little children, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's when mom and dad take the kids to the movie theater to watch the matinee because it's not as crowded and it's okay if they're a little loud. Like, no, nobody really cares about the matinees. It's okay.
And all things considered, I thought at this point we'd be 3-1 anyway. So I'm right where I thought we would be through 4 games anyway. But let's take you through this one. So if you didn't watch the game, it was a very lackluster effort, I'll say, compared to the excitement of the first 3 games. Utah just came out and was a little flat-footed, a little slower than we're used to seeing them. But New Jersey pretty much controlled from the second period on. Now, obviously, Utah suffered a big loss in the first period, but no goals. It goes 0-0 in the first period, and then Sean Durzi gets injured. Late in the first period, he's out. He will not return for the rest of the game. And New Jersey takes advantage of a shorthanded Utah, scoring 2 goals in the second to go 2-0. And then they put the game away about midway through the third period and ended up winning 3-0. Utah actually pulled their goalie with just under 5 minutes, and I thought for sure they were going to let an empty netter go. But nope, just 3-0, losing one of our top line defensemen, and that's your recap. Unfortunately, no goals for Gunther, no goals for Cooley or for Clayton Keller, but still some bright spots.
Wearing the UAC jersey.
Vejmelka was playing today, so we're giving Connor Ingram a little bit of a break. He played very well, all things considered. I really thought he played well. I'm not going to put the loss on him at all. He saved 30 of 33 shots, so very happy with the way Vejmelka played, unhappy with the way the team played. But that's the recap. Dustin, did anything stand out to you this game?
I am just way too many penalties. I mean, you mentioned Vejmelka and how well he played. It's really hard for a goalie to keep everything in front of them when you're allowing the opposing team to go on the power play 7 different times. You're already shorthanded after losing Durzi in the first period, and just you have to play a more you have to play smarter and play within yourself. You know, this has been a problem all season long, but it hasn't come back to bite them yet until today. Utah's been really good on the PK, and they've killed most of the penalties. But when you give them 7 power plays over the course of the game, eventually it's just going to break through. The levees are going to break, and they're going to score some goals. And this was just a game where, in every phase of the game, Utah was outplayed. I don't know if it's just sort of a come down off of the emotional high of back-to-back overtime wins. I don't know if maybe like having to exert yourself for a couple of extra minutes in those extra games has made the top line a little bit tired. But yeah, it was just a game where They just got outplayed, and it's okay. It's going to happen throughout the course of a season, like I said. And even with your lofty expectations and predictions that you went over with Ryan, this is where you had them. I mean, you flip flop, and quite frankly, I'd rather have the win against the Rangers than the Devils. It says a little bit more about this club than a lackluster performance during a Monday matinee. But yeah, there's still a lot of good things, but just play a little bit smarter, cut down on the penalties. You can't let them go on the power play that often.
Nope, absolutely not. And a lot of the undisciplined plays, a lot of stick penalties. You just can't, you just don't want to see those happen. And so now Utah has given up a power play goal in all four of their first four games. And so while they've killed a lot of good penalties, like you said, when you give them seven, you can't kill all seven off, especially with Sean Dursey out. So definitely got to clean those up. And then our power play also 0 for 4, just can't get anything going. And really, I mean, looking at those four power plays, they were not great from a usually dominant power play unit. We could not get anything going. Schematically, New Jersey, their penalty kill, where we could not get passes through, and it was very easy clearances for New Jersey. So hopefully that can get cleaned up, and as we continue the season, kind of make sure that if four penalty or power plays is pretty good, and you got to go. I think you got to go 25% there and get 1 for 4 at least, and obviously not give up 7 penalties yourself. But a couple of things did stand out in terms of some bright, like in terms of good bright spots. Like obviously Vamelka played very well. Block shots, the team continues to sacrifice the body defensively. 21 block shots to only 9. They did force more turnovers than New Jersey did. They were getting to pucks quickly, and but they just got out physicaled by New Jersey, and we knew this going in. Right, we talked about this. We're going to get out muscled by most of the teams. We're a very small team, but they pushed us around all night and crushing us in the hits category, 28-8. Um, I I don't think that's something that we need to improve upon, but it is something to consider after as these road trips go on and on and on. If you're taking 25 plus hits a game, and like that's going to take its toll throughout the season, right? Through first 5 games you're probably not going to see it all that much, but as we get into game 40, 60, 70 games, when you're just getting hit, like eventually it starts to take its toll. And hopefully Dursey can come back from his injury. It didn't look too bad, but they have not officially announced anything more than just an upper body injury. So I assume he'll be back on Wednesday against the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. One thing I wanted to point out is my guy, Nick Schmaltz. So I think he's a true playmaker, right? But one thing where Utah has been struggling with is giveaways. They had 16 giveaways, so not necessarily Anaheim forcing the turnover. Utah just giving away the puck. And unfortunately, Schmaltz, I kind of am going to pick on him today because I think he was trying to do too much with the puck, and he is this season has been pass first, and that has been a detriment to him. I think maybe it's the fan shots has kind of gotten into his head. Maybe it's making him not want to swing that with not connecting a few times, but he tried to make way too many passes and way too many cute passes, and it led to those giveaways too often. So I'd like to see Schmaltz take a few more shots and just make sure that those passes are clean. He did have some very nice passes, some good setups to Keller and a few others, just couldn't get anything past New Jersey. But yeah, we'll take that loss, and we'll just move on and focus on the future. The team's gonna lose games, like you said, Dustin. They're gonna lose games. They can't win them all, and there's gonna be probably we decided the don't get your hopes up in terms of the hype. I know there was a lot of fun. Like the first 3 games were exciting. We joked a lot about give them the cup now, but like at the end of the day, it's 3 games. our expectations for the season as a whole, I don't think have changed all that much. All things considered, we just had fun as much as the rest of the fans, and it's still going to be an exciting season. But you can't let one loss get you down. And when we have our 5th, 12th, 15th, 20th loss, can't let those get down. As long as we don't have too many more than 20, we should be okay. That will be actually an excellent season, I guess. But yeah, just one of those games, right? You move on and focus on the future.
Yeah, Utah is a very skilled and very good offensive team, and their opportunities just didn't find the back of the net today. I mean, Utah played. I did say that New Jersey just outplayed Utah in this game, but it was fairly even, and I might even say in that first period, Utah outplayed New Jersey in the first period. But the opportunities that they created, like early on, I want to say within the first like 7 or 8 minutes, they had a 2-on-1 breakaway with Schmaltz and Keller. And that's not, I mean, it's not a guaranteed goal, obviously, but you like your chances of scoring in that situation. And I don't even think that resulted in a shot on net. I think Schmaltz made the pass to Keller, and they couldn't connect. They couldn't get the pass there. They didn't even get a shot on goal. So there's a lot to be hopeful for and a lot to be proud of. And you mentioned just a couple of seconds ago about how the expectations of this team haven't changed very much. I think the expectations at this point versus preseason are a little bit higher just because of the skill level that we've seen and how good this team is offensively, how good they've been on the penalty kill. If they can rein in some of those, like, I'll just say dumb penalties, like too many high sticking penalties in this game and interference and stuff like that. If they can rein that in and still remain as good as they have been offensively, which feels funny to say after you just got shut out, but there's a lot of potential with this team.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what's funny about, for all the penalties, still Liam O'Brien, Spicy Tuna, has 2 games, 0 penalty minutes. My over is shattered.
I told you he was not going to get enough time on the ice to hit that over.
You were absolutely right. He's kind of switching out with, he and Carconi are going to be flip-flopping, and we'll see. Hopefully we don't need to see Sean Dursey out, or you may see Bartuzzo, defenseman, come in and take over for Dursey as he recovers. And John Marino's still weeks away. I don't expect to see him till November, mid to late November at the earliest for John. So hopefully Sean Dursey's not out too much, but we'll see as that goes on. But Wednesday's a new game against Anaheim, flip-flop from the matinee from the 11 a.m., which I don't know if I have ever actually seen. I get, like, the Utah Grizzlies never really went past the Mississippi River, right? So not too many East Coast time zone games, but I don't know if I've ever seen an 11 a.m. hockey game, at least 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So maybe nobody saw it, everybody was, they forgot that it was going on, but all things considered, we get another late one. So 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Wednesday against the Anaheim Ducks. I'm excited for that one. Hopefully they can right the ship, and they should. They are a much better team than Anaheim.
Should be a win.
Yep, should be a win, and 4-1 through 5 games ain't not bad. But that's pretty much all I have for it. Pretty quick, obviously not much to talk about in a 3-0 loss. But any closing thoughts from you, Dustin?
No, just cut back on those stupid penalties, and we're going to be just fine.
Yep, you heard it here first. It does make it hard to win when you're constantly playing a man down. Playing a more disciplined game, hopefully, but we'll be here with you after that game as well, breaking that one down. Once again, your Utah Hockey Club falls to the New Jersey Devils 3-0 in New Jersey. The road trip continues Wednesday at 8 Mountain Time against the Anaheim Ducks. Guys, thanks so much for listening, and you stay safe on this this Monday afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Two Line Pass podcast. Please follow us on Twitter at the Two Line Pass. You can follow Dustin at HighlightsUt. You can follow Randon at TLP Randon and Ryan at Carnes Ryan 0420. During the off-season, new episodes of the podcast drop every Wednesday with bonus episodes throughout. And during the season, we will have our weekly show plus game day episodes so you don't miss a minute of the action.